So I want to explain what real estate development is. We're real estate developers, and I know to a lot of people out there, especially if you're not in real estate or if you're just getting involved in it, like, well, what does that mean? So I want to break this down to you. Think of it this way. If you are going to build your own house, you want to build your own house, the first thing you need to do is you need to find a lot for your home, right? That lot might be listed by a broker. It might be listed by a home building company. There may be a neighborhood where you see a sign and you see a bunch of new lots that are going up and it says, hey, call this number, to get a brand new construction home. It may be a friend of yours knows someone that has a small lot or a big lot that they want to sell. And so if you're out there and you're in the market and you're like, I want to build my home, the first thing you do is you find that lot, right? And the way you get the lot is you will offer a contract on it. And you'll get it under contract, and then you'll have some time to do some inspections and to do your due diligence, which is just a fancy word of basically doing your homework on the lot. Well, the exact same thing goes for a real estate developer. If you want to develop apartments, if you want to develop a data center, an industrial warehouse, a retail shopping center, whatever it is, the first thing you need is the land. And you want to know the area that you want to go to, just like if you're going to build your own home, right? You want to maybe look at, if you're building your own home, if you have children, you're looking maybe at the school districts. Maybe you're looking at how easy it is to get to the neighborhood where your lot is. Maybe you're looking at how close it is to the highway, because there's a certain highway that you take that gets you to work. Same principles apply when it comes to commercial real estate when you're picking out a piece of land. Now, it's different for industrial versus retail, but the same principles apply. Where's the nearest highway? Ingress and egress. How easy is it to get in and how easy is it to get out? How's the area? How's the location, particularly for retail? You want to pay attention to the school districts, because for retail, you want families within your area because they do a lot of shopping, right? For industrial, for these big warehouses, you want to see the ease of getting in and out of the site, because oftentimes it's these big trucks and they're usually coming off the highway, right? So you want to see how close you are to the highway. So it's things like this that you evaluate when you go to get your land or go to identify your land, and then you get it under contract, just like you would if you're building a home. Now, once your land is under contract where you're going to build, what do you got to do next? Well, you need to get a builder. You need to perhaps talk to the city to get the home that you're looking to build approved, right? You need to hire an architect because you need to design the home. And, maybe after you hire that architect, he might say, hey, we need to check the soils on this land. And he may need to get a civil engineer involved to check some things out. But either way, that architect's going to get a civil engineer involved to develop your plans. The same thing for a real estate developer. When you get your land under contract, you got to do your homework on the land. You got to check the soils. So you got to get a civil engineer involved. They'll do the proper checks for you. You need to get an architect involved because you're going to be building something. And you need to get a construction company involved. And here's the great thing. Just like if you're building your home, that construction company that you hire, that home builder, they're going to help you with all of this. They usually have architects that they work with. They usually have civil engineers they work with. And they usually have relationships with the city. So if you're new into the development space and you're like, gosh, I don't know where to start. I don't know who to talk to for an engineer, an architect, or this or that. Get the land under contract and negotiate enough time so that you can get a quality commercial builder involved who may recommend to you a quality architect, who may recommend to you a good civil engineer. And that builder usually, that commercial builder, will have relationships with the city and can help you get the proper zoning that you need, the proper variances that you need to build what you're going to build. And that's essentially what a real estate developer does. He's the quarterback, or she's the quarterback behind the overall project, just like you're the quarterback behind your home. So you're building your home, you got your builder, you've got your architect, they all put the plans together, they go to the city, they get approvals. Maybe there's some neighborhood covenants where the neighborhood needs to sign off on it. Once that happens, what's next? Let's say you got all your approvals. You've made some payments to your architect, your civil person. Maybe your builder's helping you on the if-come. Once the home gets built, he starts getting paid. The next thing is you got to get a budget. And once you get that budget, you have to go to a bank because you've got to be able to get a loan in order to fund your project. Exact same thing for commercial development. You got to get a budget in place. You have to get a loan in place. So the same principles apply. Certainly a development pro forma becomes a lot more complex than a budget for building a home, but again, it's the same principles. And if this is your first time at it, the commercial builder can help you with that pro forma. There's analysts, third-party analysts that you can bring into your project to help you with your pro forma. And so there's a lot of ways that you can do this when you first get started, so long as you've got the right team in place. And another thing that I'll tell you, if you've never gotten in development before, another way for you to get in the game quickly is if you know that there's a piece of ground that's of real value, that you have the opportunity to get under contract. And you can get it under contract for a period of time where you can do some homework on it. But you don't have the skill set to develop it yourself because you've never done it before. If you get that land under contract for the right price, you can assign that contract over to a developer and make a spread and make a profit above what you have it under contract for. So if you just tie up a good piece of ground, you're in the game. Because there's a lot of developers out there, including us, that are always looking for good sites. And oftentimes we find those sites because someone else already has it tied up, but they don't want to go through with the full project, and they assign it over to us. And what happens is they assign it over to us. We enter into an agreement with them that if we close on that land, when we close that day, we're going to pay them a profit above what they have the land under contract for. It's called an assignment fee. People do this all the time. So don't be overly intimidated by the idea of being a developer. It's like anything else. You got to get the right people in place. You've got to get the right team in place, and you learn by doing. Often the best plan is diving in. Can't tell you how many times we put together these beautiful plans on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and the entire thing changes once we start taking action. So take action, and if you've got a site that you like, the first step, get it under contract. Get a lawyer to give you a draft purchase and sale agreement. Heck, you can even go into AI and find one. But get that thing tied up, give yourself some time to do your homework, to maybe find a developer that you could partner with or assign it over, and you're in the game.